And guarding the 6'6" transfer from Franklinton, North Carolina, number 4, Dre Bullock.
What is up, you guys? Oh man, that was such a disappointment that UH men's basketball put on at home against Cal Poly, one of the teams near the bottom of the conference. Now, if the tournament were, or the season were to end right now, Cal Poly would likely get the last spot, but credit to them because they took down the top 3 teams. But you know what? If they have to face off against CSUN again, and I don't know if they have, if they make it 4 in a row, I'll be really surprised. But I thought Saturday or Thursday night, rather, was a night where UH could really have put an end to them, and instead they put an end to us. Now, on a good note here, although we came away the losers, as you can see by the score here, 86-75, University of Hawaii still punched their ticket into the Big West tournament. Now, that's not the way you want to qualify for the Big West tournament, especially when you have a lethargic performance like that, with only 2 guys on Hawaii cracking double digits to 4 guys from Cal Poly. But this was a game where I think everybody in a UH uniform had to have a long talk with themselves personally over how bad did they want that one. Because as far as what I could tell, as soon as they got real close, their desire to take the lead went away. But still, you can't say they didn't try because they sure as hell did. But as far as wanting to take the lead, I didn't see any of that from my view. But still, the way that they played, you would kind of give that game a C or a C minus, which is what I'm doing right now, because that was a game that they should have won, especially considering they've had some decent luck as of late over Cal Poly. But still, this was a game you shouldn't have let slip through your fingers. Did they take them lightly? Absolutely not. But as soon as Cal Poly jumped out to an early 10-0 lead, I had a bad feeling that UH was going to be playing catch-up a lot, and they did. And it was like death by layups for Cal Poly to UH. And as far as three-point shooting is concerned, that wasn't even there for Hawaii. They were 3 for 23. But as far as points in the paint go, they tied at 40. But what really told the story was Cal Poly pummeling UH on points on turnovers 22-4. So before I get into more of that, remember, subscribe if you think that I'm worth listening to. And here comes my banner. And let's get into this. Now, you already know that I just summed up my banner right away. This was UH's first loss at home in 10 straight meetings after 10 straight wins. And their last home loss was to Arizona State back in November, just after the Outrigger Rainbow Classic, which UH won. Now, this was a game to forget all around. But like I said earlier, if you're in a UH uniform, you better have had a long talk with yourself over how bad you wanted that win. Because from what I could see, as soon as they got it close to like within 3 points or less, that desire to take the lead immediately went away. But give Cal Poly credit because they found a way to answer back. And as soon as UH tied it in the second half at 52, Cal Poly went on a 9-0 run and just ran away. And we did have one last gasp in us, but again, Cal Poly shut us down. You cannot afford to have games like this. I talked about this in my last video. You cannot play a game like you did and expect to come away with a win by the skin of your teeth. And the start was critical, and UH was down immediately 15-2. And when that happens, you're going to be hooped. And I really hope that they had a good practice session where they played hard. And to be frank, they need a good start against UC Santa Barbara to have any chance of competing with them, let alone getting a win. Because that's what didn't happen in the road matchup at UC Santa Barbara. They got off to a lousy start, had to play catch up, and didn't come anywhere close to winning it. But still, you can tell how disappointed I am with them and for them. Because that was a game that they should have won, especially over a team that they've had some good luck with in the past few meetings. This was only their third loss to them in the last 7 or 8? But still, you shouldn't have botched this up for sure. Because as soon as they got close, their desire to take the lead just seemed to go away. Just from my view. But still, you can't say they didn't try because they certainly did. And as far as what I can see, they need to have a long talk with themselves about what they're doing to help this team out and to help themselves out personally. Whether it's Hunter Erickson or Dre Bullock or Isaac Johnson who has the ball, you have to be willing to take matters into your own hands and prove you're that damn person who wants to lead this team. Now, those 3 guys that I mentioned, they can lead this team, not just in scoring, but just in ball control. And as far as Hunter Erickson goes, he seemed to be the best guy for the job with Aaron Hunkenclater out for the season with the turf toe injury. Are we going to see Aaron back next season? I sure as hell hope so, because this was a game where we could have used his services and maybe even Jalen Myers as well. Would it have been a win if we had those guys? Maybe, but it would definitely have been a lot closer, and things may have been a notch easier. You cannot resort to just playing catch around the perimeter or even if you're in the paint because you're not going to score. Whoever is willing to take matters into their own hands, regardless of who has the ball, has to do so with gusto. Because as far as what I can tell, they just wanted to make a pass and let someone else take it for them, take the shot for them. You can't do that. And that's what really did UH in. Now, they were able to get back in Cal Poly's neighborhood, but as soon as they got close, it seemed like they got too tentative and scared, like they didn't want to take the lead. But still, you can tell how disappointed I am in them because I know they could have won this game. And not only that, not only did they not do that, but they got beaten by double digits. So where was the fight? Where was the desire? And when you're coming out for Santa Barbara, which is later today, you got to prove that you got that desire and you got that want to take matters into your own hands and finish the possession with a layup or a three-point shot. Now, if your three-point shooting isn't there, oh well. Take the thing inside and just get the layup. And if you don't make it, get your own rebounds. It really ticks me off that UH does not get their own rebounds like as much as 60% of the time. Now, I know a lot of it has to do with the fact where the ball is going to bounce off of if you miss the shot. But even so, you got to have at least one guy in a Hawaiʻi uniform going in the direction of the ball to get the rebound. That's how you win games. That's how you finish possessions with a point, with a good layup, and not leave it empty. You see what I'm getting at here? But still, you cannot fault this team for not trying because they sure as hell did. And if they don't come out with a good start against Santa Barbara, they'll be lucky to come away with this win if Cal Poly was any indication. But still, give Cal Poly credit. They came prepared. We didn't. That just about summed it up. But still, I have faith in this team that they could turn it around. And if they don't prove me right, I'm going to be really, really disappointed in them. And that's where I'll leave it before I start to ruffle any more feathers. So I really hope that UH will come out the winners. But despite all this, I probably would put UH as 6-point underdogs against Santa Barbara because they haven't had the best of luck with them as of late. But if they can turn all that around, That'll make me so happy, and I'll be happy to eat my words. And at least they could go out with their last matchup against Santa Barbara for the proverbial future and prove that they can still beat them. Have they got their pace? Yes. Can they come away the winners? They can, if they can play with 100% desire. Okay. So anyway, guys, that's all for today. Thought I'd keep it a little short. But in the meantime, subscribe, and I'll see you all after Santa Barbara. Go Bows! Come on, go, 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 go! There you go! Woo! Yeah, baby!